Welcome back, everybody, on this Friday afternoon. How y'all doing? How we doing? Everybody, come on in, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get started. This is our trial run on our Friday afternoon weekend review, Ravens weekend review, and I got some things that kind of brought to my attention. Didn't get everything. Didn't want to grab everything, so because we'd have been here all night if you grab everything, because we know the Ravens are clicks. You say something bad about the Ravens, your clicks go up, because we defend our people, and other people come in and do what they do. What up, Garrison? Appreciate you. So what we're gonna do today is I got a few things that I saw that I want to talk about with you guys. We got a few reactions from a few videos that I pulled throughout the week, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get ready, and then tomorrow I'll bring my preview video, going more in depth about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So again, I appreciate you guys for coming in. For all the new subs, the subs of the last maybe 4 or 5 months, because I don't really talk about it much, and I probably should mention it more, that I do have Patreon, and it's patreon.com/sip-to-tally. We got 4 tiers over there. I put early release videos over there. Sometimes I could put videos over there that I don't put anywhere else. So if you're a Patreon or if you do the membership, there are perks to that. I'll put videos on both platforms that I don't put on YouTube, or I'll put them here early so you can see them maybe 4, 5, 6, or maybe even 12 hours earlier than everybody else. So if you want to go over there and support that kind of way, please do so. I appreciate that. And I'm just trying to find ways to push this channel, man. But I appreciate everybody that's coming in, all the new subs, all the day one people. And we're going to go ahead and get started on this Friday afternoon, because I know people have stuff to do on Fridays, and not like Gorilla, but stuff to do. I know. It's probably happy hour somewhere. I'm sure it is. I probably need to be at a happy hour myself somewhere. Okay, I'll answer that in a minute. But let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get this thing fired up. So first thing up, I'm going to bring you some.
Respectfully, he looks like the.
I ain't ready for that yet. All right, here we go. Got all these different stats and analytics and all this different stuff in this new era of football. And football, when I started coming up, was almost like a good thing. You kind of looked out there and you saw what the defense was doing, and okay, I adjusted to. I'm gonna adjust to this, and I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna run that. But now with analytics, it's a new different thing. So I'm gonna bring you some analytics that I saw, and I haven't really seen these on Twitter or X or whatever we calling it these days. But I'm gonna bring it to you, and I'm gonna show it to you. So this first one is NFL coverages, NFL offenses versus coverages faced through week 6. So these are the coverages that we have seen versus week 6. Make it a little bit bigger. All right, so we're the third row. So we've seen cover 0, which we know is no safeties. That's pretty much, they probably blitzing if you see cover 0, 6.5% of the time. We've mainly seen cover 1. And if you know from watching the All 22 from this last game, the Washington Commanders, man, I almost always call them by their old name. I try not to, but I almost always call them by their old name. But the Washington Commanders ran cover 1 a lot. And so that's where that 23.4% at. We haven't seen cover 2 much, only 10%, and we've seen cover 3. Now, I was watching, I don't remember what I was watching, but mainly the most coverage that's ran in the NFL is cover 3. So cover 3 is king throughout the NFL, and we run a bunch of cover 3 as well. The thing about it is we run out a bunch of different looks. We don't always just have that one safety sitting in the middle and you corners don't. We don't always run cover 3 where it looks like cover 3. We'll have the 4 across, and then they'll roll and rotate. We're in a 2 high shell that make it look like cover 2. We'll drop a guy down in the box and come. Matter of fact, I'll tell you an example of cover 3 that wasn't played right. Y'all remember the deep pass to Jamar Chase? We had a 2 high shell. and it was cover 3. We had a 2-high shell. As soon as the ball snapped, Eddie came down to get the hook curl, and Marlowe didn't have a guy like threatening him, so he kind of stayed in that hook curl area. Jamar came all the way across from the other zones and got into what was Marlowe's deep third and ended up being a touchdown. That was an example of cover 3 gone wrong, but we play a lot of cover 3 as well. Cover 6, cover 6 is, it depends on who's coaching it. It could be 2 different things. The way I was brought up, cover 6 was 2-man. And in some places, cover 6 is quarter halves. So I'm not really sure. I guess I need to go back and check depending on which cover 6 they're talking about, because when I was brought up, cover 6 was 2-man. And then, nowadays it might be quarter half. And then quarters, we've only played 17.2% of the time. But I think quarters is a good run defense, because you playing quarters, your people are looking in the backfield almost the entire time, and then they're matching routes once the ball is snapped. So quarters to me is a good run defense because your safeties can get involved in the run fits as well. All right, let's go to the next one. This next one is blitz rates by down. Blitz rates by down. And we're the third on this row as well. First down, we blitz 20.8% of the time. Second and long, you got a bunch of different situations. And I'll go ahead and tell you this. So when you game plan, you have to have these situations on your sheet, and you have to have your calls for these situations on your sheet as well. That way you can speed up what you're trying to do, because you don't want to try to do everything off the gut. You get in a second and medium, and you that play clock steady running down, and we know what happens when the play clock runs down, whether it's high school, college, and NFL. So you have all these different second and long, second and medium, second and short, and you got, in high school you probably got 4 or 5 plays. In college you probably got 10. In the NFL you probably got 30. So, but that's why all these different situations come up, and you got to have all this on your play call sheet. That's why some of them sheets be this wide with a little bit of handwriting on them, because you got to have all them situations on your sheet. But back to the subject at hand. I'll get on a tangent and go from there. But again, first down, we're blitzing 20.8% of the time. Second and long, 15.1. Second and medium, 27.6. Second and short, 25%. Now we get into our pretty much pass situations. Third and long, we blitz 43% of the time. Third and medium, 46% of the time. And third and short, 27% of the time. Now, the fourth down is not on there, but there's one blitz that we all kind of did not like that happened Sunday. It was 4th and 12. And we went cover 1 or cover 0. Everybody in the line, and that's the play that Wiggins got the pass interference on. So what was the thinking? We can't defend them for 12 yards, couldn't stop them for 12 yards, that we had to go straight 0 and blitz everybody? Yeah, I didn't like that call, and a lot of people didn't like that call either. But live and you learn. All right, the third chart we got, and this will be the last chart we have, and we'll get into some other stuff after this. This is NFL coverage usage, and EPA. Now, I'm not going to do the EPA stuff because I'm still learning all these different analytic metrics, and I know it's expected play something, but I'm an old school football coach. Again, guts. Go by gut. So we're going to stop this off by usage. And then the more I learn about EPA and how they use it and what it's for, I'll talk about it more. But just glancing over there, I do know green is good, and I know red is bad. So I know that much. I know that much. But we're third on this one also. So as far as what we call, just checking. I thought I was about to have a visitor. Maybe not. Cover 0, 6.5% of the time. Hold on. Let me go back. That's blitz rate. Okay, just making sure. Making sure I had the right one. All right, blitz rate. So now coverage for us. 0, 6% of the time. So no matter what front we in, no matter how we disguise it, 6% of the time. Cover 1, 23.2% of the time, which is kind of what we're comfortable at, and that kind of goes in right into the first chart that we had. Then you got cover 3 at 28% of the time. So, and again, we don't traditionally sit with that one safety in the middle of the field and then play traditional cover 3. We run it out a bunch of different formations, which is what I like, but it's also part of the communication problem. When you try to disguise so much, you have issues with, hey, I got deep third, hey, I got deep middle, who got hook curl, who got flats. Like when you have all these different disguises and you don't know who has what, or you don't communicate who has what, especially when a guy comes in motion. That's what throws the communication issues over, because pre-snap, if they come out and line up in what they line up in, everybody know what they got. I'm sure of it. It's the NFL, they all pros, they know it. But once that guy go in motion and they don't necessarily want to move with them to give away what they in, that's when the communication issues come in hand. And so playing cover 1, you pretty much just go with them or you pass them over. Especially if it's a safety, like if it's cover 1 on one side and say Kyle got the tight end or whatever and Marcus is back deep. And so if they don't want to pretty much give up what they in, the tight end go across formation, Kyle will slide back to free. Marcus will come down and be the strong, just to kind of keep the same integrity of the defensive lineup. But that's neither here nor there. I'll talk about more of that stuff because I'm gonna start getting on the board for y'all too. So just be on the lookout for that too. Some kind of chalk talk with me drawing on the board too, like I used to. What up, P? P dropped a 5. He says, that's a 10. My bad. That's a 10. Do you think Kyle could wear the dot and get the defense in the right spot? He's more versatile to keep on the field, and I believe he can cover anyone. What say you, Coach? So this is the conundrum I'm in with the green dot. I think I'm watching the Mets too. I think Trenton Simpson is the better cover guy, but because Rowe has the green dot, you can't take him out. If you give Kyle the green dot, you're paying a $20 million linebacker to be out the game. It's in the NFL. You pay that man that money, he got to play. It's kind of like Deshaun. Look at Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is playing like booby juice, but because they paying him all that money, he's still playing. So it's gonna be hard to warrant putting Kyle in the green dot, letting Trent be your coverage linebacker, and taking Rowe off the field. That's gonna be a hard sale, especially to the owner for paying all that money. It's gonna be a hard sale. But that's my answer to that. Right, Malik? That's quite the conundrum. Exactly. All right, so those are the 3 charts I want to talk about, and the more I see these, the more I bring them to you, especially as they update and I find out more about EPA and stuff like that. I'm just not, well versed in it, and I don't want to sit here in front like I am, because I'm gonna tell you what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. Like the cap numbers, that stuff blow my head. To me, the cap is cap. The cap is cap. He is causing coverage issues, but we're gonna talk about Marcus in a minute. Matter of fact, Marcus and Rowe right here. This is from Jeff. So this came out today. Ravens defensive coordinator Zach Orr said that the team has faith in Marcus Williams because everybody and their mama says get Marcus Williams off the field. Everybody and their mama says get Marcus. Hold on, before I go on, I just want to think about this. Back to P's question. I had an issue with Rowe and his coverage in the Bengals game. Like I feel like he should have got underneath T. Higgins in that touchdown. But there was also a play last week where he got up under a deep crosser about 20, maybe 23 yards down the field. And I feel like that's the role that we need in coverage. He turned and ran and got up. He found the receiver and made sure he got up under him. And that way, if the ball was thrown, it would have had to be thrown with arc, and the safety he would have had some help from the safety. That's the role I need in coverage. Now, if he can do that consistently, I ain't got no issues with him. But definitely that Bengals game, to me he was real shady in coverage. But I guess everybody had they hit and miss, and so maybe he was coached up on it. Maybe he saw what he did wrong in the Bengals game, then came out the next game versus Commanders and got better at it. We'll see. Keep pounding the ball. All right. Now, back to Jeff. Talking about Marcus Williams. He says he can play better, and he knows that. He said Williams has had his best week of practice and said that just because Williams has been the nearest guy to the play doesn't mean he's to blame for some of the breakdowns. That part I agree, because I pointed out with Chalk Talk on Chris, where you can see Marcus like, and I don't want to clap in the mic, and blow y'all ears out. He was clapping like, hey, dude, whatever. And Brandon Stevens never even acknowledged him. And so I guess whatever he had to do to cover up for Brandon Stevens not getting the call, now they didn't throw it. They didn't throw it at him that play, but I'm just saying you can see Marcus trying to get guys, to do different things or communicate or whatever. And if they don't get the call, he kind of SOL, because he gotta try to be the last line of defense because he's the free. So that last line is the key. Just because he's the nearest to the ball don't mean he's like for some of the breakdown. Because everybody wanted to blame Eddie for Jamar Chase's touchdown, but it wasn't Eddie. And the thing is with Marcus, yes, he probably is playing bad. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the lowest graded safeties by PFF. He's one of the lowest graded safeties by PFF. Hey, Heather. But man, we are stroking the ball tonight. Go and get that weed. But yeah, so give Marcus a little bit more time. But if not, I think them young bulls ready. I think them young bulls are ready. And the young bulls I'm talking about, Bo Braid, Snoozy Kane. But the only difference is those guys are more like strong safeties. Those guys, appreciate it, Malik. Those guys are more like strong safeties, Bo Braid and Sanusi. Marcus, in my opinion, is the only real free we got. Because I think Marcus is more like a strong. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I think Eddie is more like a strong at this point in his career. Kyle is definitely a unicorn is strong. Sanusi and Bo Braid are more like strongs. So like the traditional free, I think Marcus that's the guy. Unless you're gonna try to make a corner of that, and it's too late to kind of try to make a corner of that, week 7 of the season. But we'll see. Appreciate this stat, Malik. He says Marcus is 78th out of 80. Hey, Malik, is Geno Stone 79 or 80? If Geno Stone is 79 or 80, I'm happy. That's if Geno Stone is 79 or 80 out of those safeties, I'll be happy about that. All right, let's go to the next. All right, so this came out. This is the injury report for today, and we got the game with Tampa Monday night at 8:15, and they got 2 games. I don't know why do they do the 2 games and both of them be on at the same time. That another one. That puzzles me. What's the purpose? Everybody don't have pitching. Everybody don't have ESPN Plus. What they trying to make people buy ESPN Plus? That's what the second game is on, exclusively ESPN Plus. But 2 games at the same time. I remember at the beginning of the season they played like an early Monday night game and a late Monday night game. But these games will be on the same time. You can't watch both. And then what about the people that's going? You missing out on the game. You missing out on viewership. But I guess they don't care because they make all the money. But anyway, back to the injury report. Rasheen Ali didn't practice, so he probably not going to play. Malik Harrison didn't practice, probably not going to play. Deontay Hardy didn't practice, probably not going to play, but who cares? I know I don't. Don't get me started on Deontay Hardy. Arthur Marlette, limited. Brent Urban, limited. And Broderick Washington, limited. So those 3 at the bottom potentially could play. Then Tampa Bay, Graham Barton is the rookie, was limited. Braswell, all outside linebacker, I'm not really familiar with him. And I'm going to do more research on Jamal Dean did not play. That's interesting. That's one of their starting corners. Jamal Dean didn't practice, Hamstring didn't practice. Mike Evans' hamstring didn't practice. But Mike going to play. I'm sure Mike going to play. Who else did not practice? Cameron Johnson. Rashad Wright, the running back, was limited. But they got 3 good running backs, in my opinion, down there. And Antoine Wingfield was 4. So the names to keep an eye on with not practicing. And we probably got another practice tomorrow because we play Monday. So we'll check this out tomorrow and see. But Dean not practicing and Mike Evans kind of throws my antennas up.
ESPN Plus. I'm not buying no streaming service to watch a game.
Appreciate the B. He says ESPN Plus. I'm not buying no streaming service to watch no game. Appreciate the donation too, B. Thank you. P. Browner says, I think he's talking about Deontay Hardy. Facts. He was a waste of money on a punt returner. Exactly. Devin White would have been a nice addition to the practice squad. I thought about that when it first happened. But Tyler Linderbaum did Devin White so bad. I don't know if he want to be close to nobody in purple. That first, last year, maybe 2 years ago, Tyler Linderbaum did Devin White so bad, he probably want to be close to nobody in purple no time soon. he probably trying to play for anybody that played the Ravens so he can get Linderbaum back. But that's the injury report for Monday, and we'll keep an eye on this for tomorrow and see if some of those important guys for the Buccaneers are playing, because we look, as far as our important guys, we look fairly healthy. All right, so now we get into the video part, the reaction part.
And the best.
All right, so the first thing we got right here is Chris Broussard talking about the Ravens in general. Just like, not necessarily a specific point, but just the Ravens in general. I'm gonna let it run. Oh, let me ask y'all a question before I let this run. That little background music, is that too loud? Because I need to let it play when I run these videos. You probably can't even hear it because I barely got it turned up. It's barely on. But I'll run this with Chris Broussard and see what happens.
Running back of the past decade. And so and I think Lamar is throwing the football better than ever. Like, he's averaging over 250 yards a game passing, which is the first time he's ever done that. And I just think his accuracy, I don't know if his percentage is the highest, but I think he looks better than ever in the pocket to me. What I want to see is defense. And yesterday I was encouraged. Now I know Jaden Daniels had a great game, but they held what had been the highest scoring team in the league to just 23 points. And on third down, and they didn't only have 52 yards rushing, but Brian Robinson wasn't there. But still, on third down, they held the Commanders to 4 of 12 as far as converting. Commanders are second, even with what happened yesterday, they're second in the league in third down conversion.
Now that I did not know. I knew Jaden was very efficient with his completion percentage, but I did not know they were one of the best third down teams in the NFL. And for us to hold them, to 25% on third down, as much as we, upset about our defense, that's pretty good. But that also says we gave up some chunk plays too, because they still scored 23 points. For us to hold them to 25%, on third down, which is the money down, and still give up 23 points, that means we gave up chunk plays. So if we cut down on the chunk plays and still hold people to 25% on third down, we should be good going forward. Let's continue.
So to hold them to 4 of 12, I thought was impressive. And look, and I'm not trying to start I thought the Ravens were the best team in football last year. Yeah. And I think you can make an argument, obviously they lost to the Chiefs this year, but that they looking like that now. They just can't, to me, this whole year is about remembering your identity and solidifying that, which they're doing, improving defensively, cutting down the silly self-inflicted wounds, a lot of penalties, they do that, and just keeping your cool. Because all of those things killed them against the Chiefs in the AFC title game.
I do agree with Chris. And Chris, I think he was fairly, what's the word I'm looking for? He was on point with his take. And I probably should look this up now that I think about it. We have to be at the top in penalties because we shoot ourselves in the foot a lot. We cheddar bob ourselves a lot on drives because when we get behind the sticks, we don't play well. When we get a holding call or a false start or something like that, we don't play well behind the sticks. So we have to stop cheddar bobbing ourselves and getting behind the sticks. If we cut down on these penalties offensively, again, we'll be better going forward because we're playing some really good offense right now. But if we reach for perfection and cut down on these penalties, and just all you want to do is just find out the different things that you're not doing well at, cut down on those and accentuate the things you're doing good at, you should be good going forward. So if we cut down on the penalties, I think we'll be good versus Tampa Bay Monday night. And that was Chris Broussard from First Things First. Let's see who I got next. Next is James Jones from the facility, talking about the Ravens' identity. Yeah, y'all know who Cheddar Bob is.
We up in ball games, we know who we are. We losing in ball games, we know who we are. We are going to run that ball with 22, and we are going to run that ball with 8, and 8 is going to make everybody else around him better. They know exactly who.
He said something real important right there. 8 is going to make everybody around him better. He's going to make everybody around him better. He's been doing that since 2019. And the reason I say that is because remember his first MVP, the receivers he had. Do any of them guys still even play anymore? I don't think any of those guys even still play anymore. And then we look at how good Gus was with us. And I think Gus hurt right now. I think. But JK is outshining Gus over there in Los Angeles. That's the Lamar Jackson effect, making them better, which is a good thing. And, you know, if you got a guy that can make other people better or even make them focus on you so much that the other guy's bad traits don't show up on tape or don't show up during the game, you got a monster. Oh, yeah, Robinson's still playing with... No, Robinson wasn't on that team, though. Robinson wasn't on that 19 team. I know he's still playing with the Rams, but he wasn't on that 19 team. But when he said that, you know, that made me think about how the great basketball players would make other people around them better. That's what I thought about. That's exactly what I thought about, how, like, all the great like the Magic Johnson, he made everybody else around him better, even though he had Hall of Famers with him. Like, players like that. Players like that. Like P said, we had storeroom guys. But let's continue.
Who they are, and that's scary. We got to score 38, no problem. I got you.
Oh, Wood, yeah.
We got to score 17 to win. No worries, I got you. We got to close out a football game in a 4-minute drill. I got you. They are, and that's scary. We got to score 38, no problem. I got you. We got to score 17 to win. No worries, I got you. We got to close out a football game in a 4-minute drill. I got you.
All those things we couldn't do in the past. Win a shootout? Not really. I mean, we could if we were clicking, but we wasn't confident in it. We wasn't confident in it. Grind a 17 to 14 game out. We could do that. Maybe, I don't know about now with the defense, but we could do that. But then this last one, he said, close the game out in 4-minute drill. Yeah, I think Hollywood came in 2020, I think, but he might have been on that team. I'm not sure. I don't think Hollywood was on that 2019 team. But the 4-minute drill, we need to start nicknaming Henry the closer.
The Baltimore Ravens are a consistent football team right now with an identity of who they truly, truly are. And that is scary. On top of Lamar's hand. Carol said I wanted to throw her like that. Check this out. All day, every day. Lamar Jackson is like that. This is a scary, scary, scary Baltimore Ravens football team right now.
Scary is a great word because we can beat you right now in so many ways. Hollywood's rookie of 2009. Okay, appreciate it. I just wasn't sure. But so Hollywood is the only one still left. Hollywood's the only one still left, but he hurt and he hadn't really done anything since he left. Hadn't really done much since he left. But again, the identity of Baltimore. Run game. The run game has really transformed our passing game. Lamar hasn't had to throw tight window throws because the receivers are wide open, especially when we do play action. When we do play action and hit, likely on the 10-yard out, the sail, or we do play action and hit like one of the tight ends over the middle, or even boots, and we drop it off to a tight end or back in the flats. That stuff has been wide open because the threat of Derrick Henry back there, and the threat of Lamar. Like, let's keep rolling. Let's see who got the James Jones. So we're gonna this is Lamar talking about everything clicking, and this was from yesterday.
Against the NFC. Come on, Jameson. Why is that? People want to know. What, from your perspective, why have you been so dominant against the NFC?
Why have you been so dominant versus the NFC?
It's all around team effort, game planning. Probably just because we've seen each other once a year, so it's like hard to game plan for us. So a little bit of everything.
Hey, Lamar, how can you describe?
And that's what I always thought. That's why I always thought the issue was when we play NFC teams, because we only play them once a year. With a Raven, we only play them once a year, and you may not play them but once every 2-3 years. And so the dynamic that Lamar is hard to game plan for, because you really, unless you got a explosive guy at quarterback, you got to take a skill guy and put him at quarterback for your scout team, and he probably ain't throwing the ball like Lamar. And then you got to take your regular quarterback to do that. And then he can't run it like Lamar. So your preparation is crazy, because you having to take two different guys and have them as your scout team quarterback. You probably got to take a practice squad receiver and let him play quarterback on run plays. Then you got to take your practice squad quarterback and let him play quarterback on passing plays. So you shuffling people in and out, and that ain't conducive to getting a good game plan versus Lamar. That's crazy. Unless you got a guy that can do that, like on your squad, on your practice squad, you ain't getting the best look. And by the time you get in the game, it's probably too late. It's probably too late. What up, team? It's probably too late. Let's go to the second question. He says, how can you describe the chemistry with Derrick Henry so far? That's the question.
This chemistry with Derrick Henry so far, what did you think? You thought it was going to be that dominant?
Yeah, I thought so. Just because of what he's able to do, the type of running back he is, and like him just wanting to want to do everything right. If it's just some type of mistake, it may be a mistake on my part. It's all good. Like same thing with me. So it's like he just make everything easy for me.
Lamar, how much more effective is play action when you have Derrick Henry to fake the ball to? Is he such a threat to run?
Very effective, because guys, like, they trying to stop him before he gets started. So they trying to hit ABC gap. It really don't matter. They just trying to stop him in the backfield before he get the rolling, get to the second level or third.
This play that just played, it was great timing. He asked him, how effective has the play action been in the passing game? So let's kind of go back to this play right here. Just pay attention to the screen if you can. They're going to fake a toss to Derrick Henry. Both linebackers and the defensive end for the Raiders haul butt out there try to stop the toss, and Zay just runs right at the seam untouched, like nobody guards him for this touchdown. Watch this.
They trying to stop him before he gets started, so they trying to hit ABC gap.
Say fake the toss, and look at all them going there. They not even paying attention to Zay because they trying to stop Derrick Henry.
Really
wide open. It's exact. It's funny that it timed up like this with the video.
They just trying to stop him in the backfield before he get the rolling, get to the second level or third level. So that play action definitely is effective.
I know you like to say you don't play against the other quarterback, you play against the defense, but what's your relationship with Baker Mayfield, and do you have any extra kick when you play against another quarterback that was in your draft class?
No, I just want to win.
I forget that Baker was in his draft class. It seems like Baker is older than Lamar. It seems like Baker's an old man, but I forget he's in that draft class. I don't know. YouTube be tripping sometime, Mosaic. YouTube be tripping sometime. Blame it on YouTube. I ain't do it. My bad. I ain't do it. But it just seems like Baker's older. We're gonna finish this question, then we're gonna go to the next one.
I just want to look at every game the same way, and he's a tremendous quarterback. He has been since college. Ever since I've known him, even going back to Heisman. Both of us won Heisman the year back to back from each other. So yeah, a little bit. You can say we got a relationship a little bit from there, but outside of football, I really don't be around.
Now, we're gonna have 3 straight Heisman winners in this game. I'm glad Lamar just said that. We're gonna have 3 straight Heisman winners. Baker in 14? No. Yeah, Baker in 14, I think. Henry in 15. I think Lamar in 16. I think that's what it is. I think Baker won the Heisman in 14. I think Henry won in 15. And I think Lamar won in 16. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I think that's the order of the Heisman. 14 was Baker. 15 was Henry. 16 was Lamar. That's 3 Heisman winners, in this game. So Cool. Let's move on.
But if I'm
all right, now, you know we always got to have Mr. Shady in here. It's the dude, Nick Wright. So Nick is talking about teams that scare him not named the Ravens. And so basically they asked him, like, if he was the Chiefs, so I'm guessing he's a Chiefs fan, who would he want to play? Like, who wouldn't he want to play? Like, these teams he'd rather play than the Ravens. So check this out. And these are the standings scrolling in the background.
But if I'm thinking of teams that scare me, who roots for the best team in the league, I would say the team we just talked about, Detroit, San Francisco, Cincinnati, Buffalo.
This dude said Cincinnati. This dude said Cincinnati scares him over Baltimore. What? Now I see why Nitro be slapping this dude all the time. I do. I see why. I see why Nitro be slapping this dude all the time. He said Cincinnati scares him more than Baltimore as of right now. And Cincinnati's sitting there 2-4. Okay.
Buffalo, take Cincinnati out if you don't care. Buffalo,
You're
Houston.
talking about teams that could have a chance in your
Teams
mind
that
to beat the Chiefs.
if you're like, hey Nick, you can play the Chiefs in the playoffs can play Baltimore or those teams I just listed. I'd say give me Baltimore.
Can we just put a
Bro, this has to be a paid agenda for Nick Wright, because he is certified stupid. Is he not? Is he not certified stupid? Henry, Lamar, and Baker. Oh, okay. Is he certified stupid? This is crazy. This is crazy. Appreciate y'all for fact checking me on the Heisman thing. I knew they was 3 in a row, but I thought Baker was before those guys because he was older. But yeah, he in denial, man. And I hope they paying him to have these crazy Ravens takes, and he don't just believe that for real, because if he believe that for real, his football acumen, his football IQ is trash. Let's see, we got 2 more, I think. That was Nick Wright. Where's Nick Wright on my paper? Yeah, we got 2 more. So this next one is from Pat McAfee, which I find this funny when I hear it, the way they do it. Let's check out Pat McAfee talking about the Ravens.
Let's go to the next overreaction, shall we? It's from Kyle at Kyle Mangum. Hell yeah, Kyle. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Baltimore Ravens offense has reached the holy grail. Lamar, Henry, Zay, Andrews, Likely, Adams. Soon. The league can't stop him. Lamar doesn't lose to rookie quarterbacks. He's 7-0. Lamar doesn't lose to NFC teams. He's 22-1. So one time he did. John Harbaugh, we love you again, says Kyle Mangum. Remember, they wanted to kick Harbaugh out of town a few times, AJ Hawk.
We all wanted to kick Harbaugh out of town. We did. At 0-2, we was like, he got to go. I think somebody asked me that bluntly, and I tried to stay off coaches. I was like, yep, he got to go. But if you watch the Roundup Monday, I backed up off of that wholeheartedly, because after that 2-0 start, whatever John did, whatever he said, whatever buttons he pushed, even if he just pulled back and let them guys coach, whatever he did, it righted the ship. So salute to him for that. You know, I know we still have the timeout issues and the red flag issues and all that, but as of 6:38, 10:18, John Harbaugh cool with me right now. He cool with me right now. So, but let's keep going.
Yeah, they have. I mean, honestly, this is not much of an overreaction. I don't think when you watch this team play, like, what, I don't know. What do you do to stop the offense? The fact that Ricard and Derrick Henry are in the same backfield is what's nuts to me. Like, Ricard blocking for anybody is crazy.
I agree.
But those two, imagine doing that. Imagine being on defense and be like, okay, guys, strap it in. They may run the ball 40 times. And let alone, like, if you get into a 4-minute situation where they're trying to run the clock out, good luck. Like, that would not be fun.
Well, and then
Question. So let's put on our football hat for a minute. So let's just say we all, what was the average linebacker? Let's just all say we 6'1", 6'2", 240. Let's say we 6'1", let's say we 6'2", 235 linebacker. We run about a 4'5", 4'6". We could throw up 225 about 20 times. Let's just all us. That's us. That's us. Now, they running down. The Ravens are running downhill at you all game long, and we 6'2", 230, 235. First off, you getting Ricard coming through the hole at like 285, almost 300. Then you getting Derrick Henry coming down the hole, which is about 6'4", about 260, 250. Our 235 ain't gonna last too much longer. We eventually gonna break. we eventually gonna break. So to have Ricard and Derrick Henry coming down at you like that is crazy. And it's working, and I hope it keep working all season long, all the way to February.
When the fullback comes through, somebody's supposed to take that on, right? So the next person can get free for the running back. Now you got two people taking on fullbacks seemingly every single run.
Yeah. Running downhill with like a 10-yard start. Okay, cool. How many times can you do that before you're dead?
And they know what leverage they're trying to get as well. You don't.
Yep.
You know what they are trying to do. Jeez.
Filthy.
It feels fake. We talked about it earlier. Commissioner stepped in. He said it's not allowed. But then you put on top of that, Mark Andrews is back with likely. Did you see that catch Mark Andrews made?
He said the commissioner should have stopped that trade. When was the last time a commissioner recorded 6'3"? Appreciate it, Najee. When was the last time a commissioner stopped a trade? I want to see if somebody knows. When was the last time a commissioner say, nope, that can't happen. Y'all gonna be too good. Nope, They got me right, Sam. They got me right early in the chat. Appreciate it though. They told me. I just assumed Baker was earlier because he was older. That's why I assumed that. But you know what happens when you assume? That's it. Sticks hit it on the head. CP3 tried to go to I think LA with the Lakers. They were like, nope, can't do it.
He's a fucking beast. Completely forget about Mark Andrews being the guy.
He's a monster. Finally,
absolute monster. What's that, Tone?
People have been very, very mad at Mark Andrews this year.
Well, he's coming back a little slower, you know?
Been like the Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, the fantasy mark.
Oh, they talking about the fantasy stuff, but don't worry about that. Basically saying that Mark ain't been producing in fantasy, but we don't care about that because if you play fantasy and you play fantasy for real, you know the only real person worth getting on the Ravens team in fantasy is Lamar. Because the ball gonna be spread around and nobody's really, and maybe Zay Flowers. The ball's gonna be spread around. Nobody's really, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Lamar and Derrick Henry. That's what I meant, Lamar and Derrick Henry. Because the ball gonna be spread around. Like Zay had 100 yards these past two games. Zay may disappear for a week or two because he's gonna be the focal point here lately. So if you for real on your fantasy stuff, the only Ravens you probably need on your team are Lamar and Derrick Henry. And if you had to get like a backup or third receiver, maybe you can go Zay or something like that. But if you're in a deep league, you got to get Bateman. I'm in one league, I had to get Bateman. So it is what it is. And then the last one we got is so we're gonna end on some positivity. Some positivity from good old Shady McCoy.
Straight game. But it's not just that they've won. Y'all realize who they beat. Lamar Jackson said, Josh Allen, sit down. Check. Then Lamar Jackson said, Joe Burrow, sit down. Check. Lamar Jackson said, Jaden Daniels, sit down. Check. I mean, Lamar Jackson done stood him up and said, Dak, sit down. Like Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, everybody stand up and take a seat.
That's a pretty good gauntlet of quarterbacks. That's a pretty good gauntlet of quarterbacks to start the season off. That's a pretty good gauntlet. Let me see. We lost to Pat, so we couldn't. So Pat told us to sit down. We lost to Gardner Minshew again for 2 years in a row. That don't even sound good coming out of my mouth. We lost to Gardner Minshew 2 years in a row on two different teams. Wow. But Dak, sit down. Jaden Daniels, sit down. Who else in that group? Josh Allen, sit down. And who was the third win? Who was the fourth win? Trying to think of the fourth win. I forgot it just that fast. Let me back up.
Who they beat. Lamar Jackson said, Josh Allen, sit down. Check. Then Lamar Jackson said, Joe Burrow, sit down. Lamar Jackson said, Jaden Daniels, sit down. Check. I mean, Lamar Jackson done stood him up and said, Dak, sit down. Like Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, everybody stand up and take a seat. Lamar Jackson said, look, y'all gonna have to bow to your boy. Just the ring, huh?
Real talk. I mean, what the Ravens did in my mind was absolutely impressive. Shaded are red hot, 4-2 after losses to the Raiders early on in the season, and that loss to the Chiefs. That seems like a distant memory.
Agreed. That loss to the Chiefs and the Raiders seems so long ago. We're a completely different team right now. When I was listening to this earlier, when I was recording it, I was saying if we played the Raiders right now, with or without Devontae, we beat the max stuffing out of them. I mean, the max stuffing out of them if we play them right now. But we don't. We're 4-2 for a reason. You live and you learn. No, I did not call you Sticks. I call Sticks. I call this dude Sticks right here. I call that dude Sticks.
Did the Ravens put the league on notice?
Yes, they did. For so many years, even with the MVP Lamar Jackson years, all we talk about is the defense and Lamar Jackson having special, talent. Them days is over with. Defense is not like that like they used to be for Ravens.
He said it. The defense is not like they used to be for the Ravens. They are not. They could be, but right now they not. Except for Big Zai. Big Zai is up there balling. And they're going to come around, though. I think they're going to come around. If you don't know who Big Zai is, that's Travis Jones.
That's right. And the best thing about Lamar Jackson, he's doing it himself. I'm going to throw this ball around. I'm going to run this ball around. He looks different. Yeah. This is the first time I can say this, though. Respectfully, he looks like the best player in football.
Yes, he does.
Right? Yeah. Right?
He looked like the best player in football right now. And then this next statement by Shady really took the top off of me, because we always say how good Lamar is, and we say Lamar is 1B to Pat Mahomes, and because Pat got all the rings and whatnot. But the way he's playing right now, well, take it away, Shady.
Easy too, though. Yo, I don't lie, man. Like I never thought I could see a better Lamar Jackson, because he's been so good. This right here, though, this Lamar Jackson, he'd be the best player in football for a long time.
It's crazy.
And Patrick Mahomes, and I hate to say that.
Yeah.
Okay? I never play with Patrick's name. He's up here. Yeah. But if Lamar keeps playing like this,
it's a different level.
Because listen, they lost to the Chiefs by a toenail. Lamar looking special, bro. Special.
All right, so and that's a lot of praise for our dude. That's a lot of praise for our dude, man. He is he's on a different level, man. And I've been seeing the tweets and the things saying MV3 or whatever. If he keeps it up, there's a great possibility that can happen, because he is doing the doggone thing. What I will say is there's a poll up there, and it looks like both is at 78%. And I'll go ahead and tell you the reason why that poll is there. Because it seems that the talking stuff is more popular than the film. But you guys say both, and I trust your judgment. So we might start getting both on the channel. So I may have to do 2 a day. Find a couple topics and give my 2 cents on them, and then bring you some film in the afternoon. That might be what we go to going forward. But definitely, I enjoyed this today. We'll definitely do episode 2 next Friday, God willing. And that's what I got for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. So if you have not liked the video, please do so. We 1 like away from our 2nd like goal. That'll put us at 50 likes. Share it on your socials. Clip it. You got a clip function on YouTube now, like they got on Twitch. So you can clip different things and tweet them out if you want to. And other than that, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy your happy hour wherever you at. And if you at happy hour, drink one for me. Turn a little bit up for me. And I'll see y'all tomorrow with the Bucks Ravens preview. Peace and love. I'm gonna go watch these Mets.